What's going on, YouTube? My name is Venator, and I hope you all are having a wonderful Wednesday. In today's video, we are back in Highlands Lake on our full prime Deinosuchus. We're playing on the Petits Pieds EU server. And the last time we were here, we made our way all the way from West Rail to South Plains, up to Top Pond, and then made the long walk to our now home in Highlands Lake. And this is where we will conclude this dino's incredible life. But before we get to that, I want to take you guys through all the killing that Sniper Dude and I did during our time here. So you guys are about to see 7 sessions worth of killing. And I have to say, Sniper and I went on an absolute tear. The hunting on the EU server during our about week in the lake was absolutely incredible. I don't think the hunting has ever been this good, this many consecutive sessions in a row in Highlands Lake while I've been playing on the server. So, hope you guys enjoy all of this killing, and then in our next EU video, we will be back to the solo Deinosuchus gameplay that you guys have really been wanting to see more of. So without further ado, let's jump right into the action. And what better way to start out than with a couple of stego kills? Here, I wasn't quite sure if Sniper had enough stamina to get that stego down, so I was trying to just be there in case he dropped it and maybe tank a couple hits. That grab, I didn't know if that stego was grabbable, and I couldn't tell if I hit Sniper or the other stego and he just wasn't grabbable. Either way, we got this guy down, and that's 2 stegos added to our tally. And that night, I had this group of Sarahs come over to the lake wanting to get a drink and maybe eat some food on the side of the lake, which would prove to be a costly mistake, as this guy found out, and his friends that just ran over there are going to learn as well. Or at least I thought they were going to learn. I have no idea how that lunge missed. And that just goes to show that sometimes you can do everything right and the game just disagrees with you. Then we had a couple Patchies show up. Things love to come to this little channel and drink, thinking that it's somehow safer than the lake. Not really sure why this second one chose to stick around, but hey, I'll take a double kill anytime. The following morning, once the weather had cleared up, I saw this dibble. And like the Packies before him, he thought that this was a safe spot to snag a quick drink. And if you're playing in Highlands Lake, this channel is a great spot to just sit and wait for things. If you couldn't tell, I was tapped out here, just waiting on anything else to come to the lake. As you can see from my hunger, it had been a while since we had got a kill. We had logged out after that previous dibble, and then came back for our next session because we hadn't seen much. And it didn't take long. We got this dibble probably 10 minutes into our second session. Then we had these stegos come up to the south side that next morning, and I couldn't quite tell just how big they are. It's pretty difficult to judge the size of a stego from in the water. Even with how long I've been playing, I still find myself second guessing. I swam around these guys for a solid couple minutes. Well, felt like a couple minutes, it was really just seconds, but I wasn't quite sure which one to go for. And so I just finally decided that, this one on the right, I think he was a little bit smaller, so I was going to try and take this guy. Here, I had this group of dibbles come up to drink, and they were trying to protect and sacrifice themselves so this guy back here with the skin didn't get grabbed. And that was 2 attempts that just didn't work. I have no idea why the grab didn't even activate. And then I tried a super lunge and embarrassingly just absolutely whiffed it. So I'm sure these guys were just laughing their butts off at me. But I had a plan. I was going to continue and act like and make a fool of myself to try and convince them that there was only one croc here. Because my buddy Sniper, well, he wasn't far off and he was making his way over here. Gotta love when that deception plays off and they fall right into your trap. Then we spotted this next dibble, trying to make a run around the shore. I'm not sure where he was heading because that side dead ends, but I tried to line up a lunge, and unbeknownst to me, he was being chased, so he stopped right when I came out of the water. Lucky for me though, Sniper Dude was there for the follow-up. That night, during a thunderstorm, I saw a stego close to the shore. And I think he thought that I didn't notice him and was just going to swim right by. But little did he know, he was in the perfect lunge range. A quick snack that could come in handy later. This poor Sarah wanted some food, but he should know better than to try and eat right next to the shore. That next day, spotted this stego just walking casually next to the lake, and Sniper made him pay. And what was fortunate is there was 2 other stegos on the direct opposite side of the lake that saw Sniper grab this guy, which made them think that it was safe, and they approached the water. It also helped that he kept lunging at things over on the other side so they could see that he was still over here, and that gave this stego the courage to run up and take a drink. Always remember, folks, where there's one dino, there is likely a second. And that night, as I was making my way back over to the north side, this dibble was standing right on the shore as I swam by. I guess he thought that maybe I wouldn't grab him. I don't know why he thought that. Wasn't a smart choice. I didn't quite have the stamina to drown him. Lucky for me, Sniper was right here to mop him up. And not long after, we had this big group of stegos, 2 full primes, trying to protect their friend. Let's see how it goes. I guess it doesn't really matter how good your wall is if your baby doesn't stand behind it. And then I can just use them as a shield to eat a couple of the hits. You guys know me. I had to go taunt these 2 stego parents. Didn't matter how good they tried to protect their young one, he went down. Then I had another group of stego parents wanting to protect their child, and they did the classic wall. Let's see how it goes. I doubt many stegos are expecting a dino to come right up in between them. Got that guy though. And after healing up a little bit, I had another dino pop in the lake. I have no idea where he was, but I wasn't too concerned because if he was big, I probably would have seen him. And, as luck would have it, another stego came up to drink just as I was in the area. To always keep an eye on things. That dibble looked like he was just going to run past, so we started to leave the area, and then he just U-turned and came up for a drink. When you're hunting in Highlands, a good strategy is to use your dash to quickly cover ground in the lake. All you really need is about half stamina to grab something and get them down, so you can use a couple dashes to really get across the lake quick. And I really wonder what goes through the heads of some players that play and drink at the Highland Lake. Because here, well, as you can see, we have multiple people drinking. Had this dibble, a smaller dibble, and then gonna have a little stego come out. And I bet they didn't expect that I would get all three of them. But sure enough, I'm gonna grab them and secure my first triple. And what do you know? Another stego trying to protect his child. For all you stego mains out there, this just doesn't work. I hope you guys know that. One way or another, a good croc is gonna get your kid. Here, we had some aloes that had killed a dibble out here. I tried to use the super lunge and then run up here and steal the kill from him. But then a stego came out, and so I had a better idea. I'm going to try and bait him closer to the shore so Sniper can come over and grab him. Let's see how this plays out. As always, where there's one dino, there is probably a second, and these stegos learned that. That night, Sniper called out that he had another stego family, and so we crafted another devious plan. He was going to distract one of the primes while I came up and grabbed the smaller stego. Let's see if this bait will work. And now, for our first croc interaction. We logged into the lake, and it was already occupied. There was another pair of full primes here, so the fight was on. I hope you guys enjoy this awesome 2v2. And that was a great fight. Those guys gave us a pretty good run. And since we had just logged on, I didn't really want to get off. So I had the bright idea of us going over here into this really big bush and healing, thinking that we would be safe and not get attacked. Well, and that turned out to be wrong, because while I was AFK healing, we had another duo of full primes come to the lake from water access. And lo and behold, one of them was swimming by and saw our feet under the bush. And so he came out and went right on the attack. It took me a little bit before I returned. And when I returned, I was just getting bit over and over and had no idea what was going on. But after Sniper filled me in, the fight was on. Unfortunately though, I was only able to get the one croc, Sniper wasn't able to heal up enough from the previous fight, and with me being gone, just set us up for disaster. GG to those two guys though. It was a good fight, and after messaging with them on Discord, it turns out another duo logged in and killed that guy. So that was about 8 full primes in the Highland Lake in the span of about 15 minutes. Just goes to show that you never know who else is trying to claim and hold that territory. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you all next time, and happy hunting.